Welcome! We're diving into the 2026 Lenten campaign's mission to build a just, peaceful, and united Kenya. And this week, we're zeroing in on a topic that's, well, it's shaping everything. The powerful and, let's be honest, often complicated relationship between our young people and technology. So this whole campaign, it's all built on this incredible verse from the book of Amos. And this isn't just a nice thought, it's a powerful demand for justice and righteousness to flow like a river that nothing can stop. That's the standard we have to hold everything to, and that includes our digital world. And just so you know, all the insights we're exploring today are coming straight from the 2026 Lenten Campaign booklet. It's a fantastic resource put together by the KCCB's Catholic Justice and Peace Department. Okay, let's get right to the heart of it. When it comes to young people and technology, it's never just one thing, is it? It's really a double-edged sword. On one side, you've got this incredible promise for creating things and connecting with people. But on the other, there are some very real dangers of destruction and deceit. And this image from the booklet, wow, it just captures that tension perfectly. You see the light, right? Words like coding and online learning. But then, you see the darkness creeping in, fraud, cyberbullying. This isn't just a cool graphic. It's the battle our youth are facing online every single day. To really get a handle on this, the campaign uses this brilliant three-step reflection: see, judge, and act. So first up, let's see the situation through a personal story, the fall and redemption of a young man named Kameni. Our story starts in the remote village of Balicha. Here we meet Kameni, a quiet, humble, and really hardworking kid. In his world, technology was, well, it was just a word he'd heard, not something he'd ever really touched or seen. But then, everything changes. His old classmate, Baby Njanja, shows up from the big city. She just dazzles him with her phone, her clothes, and all these stories about making fast money online. She invites him to the city and introduces him to her flashy friend, Fisi Peza, and this whole new world of what looks like endless digital opportunity. And this, of course, is where that promise starts to turn into peril. Kameni gets taught the tricks of the trade: hacking, digital theft. At first he's scared, but the money rolls in fast, and that easy life, well, it pulls him deeper and deeper into this criminal web. And then it all comes crashing down. A huge plan to steal from a government website goes sideways. The money lands right in Kameni's account, the investigators are closing in, and his so-called friends, they just vanish. He's left all alone to face the music. But here's the thing. His story doesn't end in that prison cell. He meets the prison chaplain, Paddy Tumani, who sees the good in him. Through reflection, guidance, and his faith, Kameni starts to learn real, ethical digital skills, like computer design. When he's finally freed, he uses those skills for good, proving that even when you're lost, you can always find your way back. Okay, so Kameni's story really helps us see the personal side of this. Now, let's take a step back for the second part of our reflection, to judge the situation on a national scale. What does all this mean for Kenya as a whole? Get ready for this number: 75%. More than 75% of all Kenyans are under the age of 35. Just let that sink in for a second. This isn't some small niche issue. The digital experience of our youth is the experience of Kenya. It's defining our present, and for sure, it's defining our future. When you look at the national picture, it's basically Kameni's story, just written on a massive scale. The promise is huge: connectivity, new ways to make a living, a platform for activism. But the danger, the peril is just as real. Trafficking networks, exploitation, all of it often disguised as the very opportunities our young people are desperately searching for. So where's our moral compass in all this? The Catholic Church actually affirms the potential of technology. It encourages young people to be creative witnesses of the gospel online. But it also gives some really strong warnings about addiction, misinformation, and the way it can dehumanize us. It's a call for creating safe digital spaces for everyone. All right, so we've looked at the practical side. Now, let's go a little deeper into the spiritual side of things, because this isn't just about policies or what we click on. It connects right to our faith. How do we learn to see this digital world with new spiritual eyes? And that brings us to a really crucial question, maybe even a little uncomfortable. With literally all the information in the world at our fingertips, are we actually seeing what matters? Or is it possible that the endless stream of data is actually making us blind? You see, this week's reflection is tied to Laetare Sunday, which is the fourth Sunday of Lent. It's known as a day of rejoicing because it's the moment we recognize that light is starting to break through the darkness of Lent. What a perfect image for our hope for technology, right? You know, the gospel story about the man born blind? It's the perfect metaphor here. Technology, like light, can show us so much knowledge, but too much of it, the endless scrolling, the chasing of likes, can cause a kind of spiritual blindness, one that stops us from seeing the real beauty and truth that's right in front of our faces. So we've seen the story, we've judged the situation, and now we get to the most important part, right? The part where we act. This is where all that thinking moves from our heads and our hearts into our hands. This is your call to action. And the very first action, it's an internal one. It's a personal examination of conscience. Let's ask ourselves honestly, how have I been using this powerful tool? Does my phone build walls, or does it build bridges between me and my family, between me and God? Do I have balance in my life, or has the digital world started to take over? And once we've looked inward, the campaign gives us 4 really concrete things we can do out in our communities. 1, create safe digital spaces in our parishes. 2, we have to model healthy boundaries ourselves by managing and limiting our own online time. 3, organize trainings on how to use tech responsibly. And 4, let's actively use social media to share our faith and positive values. These are things we can all do together. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. The misuse of technology, all the fraud, the theft, the exploitation, it's a form of corruption. And as Pope Francis so powerfully said when he visited Kenya, corruption is not a path to life, it is a path to death. So this is what it all comes down to. Technology can be used to forge new chains of corruption, chains that bind our youth and our entire nation. Or it can be the tool we use to break them. The choice, as this campaign reminds us, is ours. The only question left is, how will you use it to help justice roll down like water?